Hi. I want to share from a book called Calm My Anxious Heart. I've been reading it. Actually, I've been working on reading it for a really long time, but I have never gone as far. I just kind of stopped for a while. Okay. The chapter of this is trusting God with if onlys, and I think this is really powerful for everybody's life, even if you took God out of the pictures and you just look at some of the other concept of it. But I choose not to take God out of the picture, but you can do what you want with this. Let me tell you a story of an old Portuguese. I'm adding words. Let me tell you an old Portuguese story. There was an old man who lived in a tiny village. Although he was poor, he was envied by all for the beautiful white horse he owned. Even the king coveted his treasure. People offered fabulous prices for this steed, but the old man always refused. "This horse is not a horse to me," he would tell them. "It is a person. How could you sell a person? He is a friend, not a possession." How could you sell a friend? The man was poor and temptation was great, but never sold the horse. One morning, the horse was missing from the stable. All the village came to see the old man. "You old fool," they scoffed. "We told you that someone would steal your horse. You are so poor. How could you ever hope to protect such a valuable animal? It would have been better to have sold him. You could have gotten whatever price you wanted. Now the horse is gone and you've been cursed with misfortune." The old man responded, "Don't speak too quickly. Say only that the horse is not in the stable. That is all we know. The rest is judgment. How can you know if I've been cursed or not? How can you judge?" The people contested. "Don't make us out to be fools. We may not be philosophers, but great philosophy is not needed to know what happened here. The fact that your horse is gone is a curse." The old man spoke again. "All I know is that the stable is empty and the horse is gone. The rest I don't know. Whether it may be a curse or a blessing, I can't see. All we can see is a fragment. Who can say what will come next?" The people of the village laughed. They had always thought the man to be a fool. If he wasn't, he would have sold the horse and lived off the money. Instead, he was poor woodcutter, living hand to mouth in the misery of poverty. Now he had proven that he was indeed a fool. After 15 days, the horse returned. He hadn't been stolen. He had run away into the forest. Not only had he returned, he had brought a dozen wild horses with him. Once again, the village people gathered around the woodcutter and spoke. "Old man, you were right and we were wrong. What we thought was a curse was a blessing. Please forgive us." The man responded again. "You go too far. Say only that the horse is back. State that a dozen horses returned with him, but don't judge. How do you know if it is a blessing or not? You see only a fragment. Unless you know the whole story, how can you judge? If you read only one page, how can you judge the whole book? All you have is a fragment. Don't say that this is a blessing. No one knows. I am content with what I know. I am not protruded by what I don't know." Maybe the old man is right, they say, but deep down they believed he was wrong. They knew it was a blessing. 12 wild horses had returned with one horse. With a little bit of work, the animals could be broken and trained and sold for much money. The old man had a son, an only son. The young man began to break the wild horses. After a few days, he fell from one of the horses and broke both of his legs. Once again, the villagers gathered around the old man and cast their judgments. "You were right," they said. "The dozen horses were not a blessing, they were a curse. Your only son broke his legs, and now in your old age, you have no one to help you. Now you are poorer than ever." Sorry, I keep putting the book in my face. The old man spoke again. "Don't go so far in your judgment. Say only that my son broke his legs. Who knows if it is a blessing or a curse? No one knows. We only have a fragment of the whole." A few weeks later, the country engaged in war against the neighboring country. All the young men in the village were required to join the army. All of the young men of only the son of the old man was excluded because of his injury. He was injured. The enemy was drawn, and the people feared they would never see their son again. Once again, they gathered around the old man, crying, screaming, because their sons had been taken. "You're right, old man," they wept. "God knows you were right. This proves it. Your son's accident was a blessing. His legs may be broken, but at least he is with you. Our sons are gone forever." The old man spoke again. "Why do you always draw conclusions? No one knows. Say only this: your sons went to war, and mine did not. No one is wise enough to know if it is a blessing or a curse. Only God knows." The old woodcutter was content with what he knew, and not disturbed by what he couldn't understand. Epictetus said, "I am always content with that which happens, for I think that that which God chooses is better than what I choose." If we are to find contentment in the middle of trial and uncertainty, we must accept our situation as being purposely allowed into our lives by a personal and loving God. For most of us, this begins by refusing to contract the if only disease. I know that in my life, a million times over and over again, I can see where doing the very thing that this guy did and not judging things by what we see them can take us really far. Like, this past year, my best friend, July 22nd, actually, my best friend passed away, and you would think that it would be the most horrible thing, and while it was super painful, like, there was so much that helped me grow. And so I just want to challenge people, like, don't just judge a situation by what you see. Really take a look at it and see. Just be willing to wait. You never know what the outcome's going to be, and it's probably a lot better than you think. Even if it doesn't look better, there's something good there.